Welcome, my friends. How are you all doing? We got lots of Amy's and Allison's in the house. Hi, everybody. We're so glad you're here. Hi, Allison. Hi, Amy O'Brien / Wriggle. We're glad you're here. That's cool. We're going to have a good night tonight. I'm excited about some of the things we're going to try. Some new game ideas that I think will be pretty fun. I mean, hopefully. We'll see in a few minutes, won't we? But I hope you are good. We're going to wait a few minutes and let some people get on board. If you are just jumping on, do me a favor and say hey so that we know that we have you. A little bit later, we're going to need you to jump in as we do a game that requires you to respond. So be prepared for that. That'll be fun. And besides that, I have a special guest in a few minutes you're going to get to see on the hot seat. And so that's fun, and it's going to be a good evening, Hope you're doing okay and are hanging in there. I know it's been a long week, and tomorrow's Friday, and so that's good news. And hey, how about those Browns on Sunday night, huh? Is it too soon to bring that up? But I'm really glad that they did well because Cleveland needs a little positive every once in a while. Pittsburgh's had more than its share of positive unless we're talking baseball, then it's a different story. And of course, the Pittsburgh basketball team, we don't have one. So at least Cleveland's got that going for them. So hope you're doing well. I am going to go ahead and get us started in this thing and share with you some incredibly crazy announcements. All right, so here they are. They're not that special, but I wanted you to hear. We were looking ahead, and we were going to do this Young Life Connections on Thursday nights for the next few weeks, and actually probably for the rest of the semester we were thinking. And then we started to look at the sports schedules, and it looks like Thursday night's a pretty big night. Next Thursday night is Hollidaysburg versus Altoona, I think girls basketball, and or boys. And and it seems like Thursday nights are a lot of activities and things going on. So normally we don't run Young Life for January because of sports and all the conflicts of practices, and we know that we have friends tonight who can't be here who have practice tonight. So we are going to postpone doing any Thursday night events like this and just do our Sunday night events, which is what we call Real Life. And Real Life's kind of just talking more about how faith intersects with life and how that can make a huge difference. And so we hope that that'll be something you're a part of. We'll send out notices for that, put it up on Facebook, put it up on YouTube so you can be a part of it. But we would love to have you join us at that if you're able to do so. So the other really important, and then we will get to something, and hopefully we're going to be live at some point, even if we have to wait till it gets warm enough to be outside together. But while we're doing this, do me a favor and check us out on Facebook Live as well as checking us out on YouTube Live. And just give us a thumbs up. If you're on a place where you can do a thumbs up or give us a positive. The other thing is if you can subscribe, that is great because that helps us with some other things that help us to become a little bit more individualized. So we appreciate that, and we're just really thankful that you're checking in tonight. So let me take us to the Here we are on the hot seat with our very own Jen Worley. Jen is so excited to be here and have her camera shoved up by her face. But we have, Jen is a junior, correct, Jen?
Yes.
Get this right, junior at our very own Penn State University. And so we're glad she's here. Yes, Amy's glad you're here too, Jen, so that's good. And we have got some great questions that we have come up with that I think will, challenge Jen to, she's going to have to tell us, deep, harsh truths about herself to these really tough questions. So let me begin to go through these. Jen, are you okay? Do you understand the rules of this?
Yes.
Okay, good. Here we go. Jen, would you rather be a passenger or a driver?
I definitely would want to be a driver.
Jen is saying yes to being a driver. All right, next question. Not a hard one, but a question for you to consider is, McDonald's cheeseburger or a Sheetz hot dog?
Definitely Sheetz hot dogs.
Sheetz hot dog. There you go. We were contemplating this as we worked through this question. So good. Now this is one that could share a lot about what you're like. What's worse, Jen, in your opinion? Doing laundry or doing dishes?
Definitely doing dishes. I would take laundry any day.
Now see, I'm completely the opposite. Laundry takes too long and dishes you're done. So, all right, but I got you. All right, here comes the next one. Would you rather sit in a couch or on a couch or a recliner? Are you a couch or a recliner kind of person?
I'm a recliner, definitely.
Okay. All right, recliner. All right, hold on here. I'm seeing some comments here. We got to just look at some of these comments. What is your ideal brownie? Middle, corner, edge, chocolate chips, peanut butter chips, frosting, etc. Well, go ahead, because Emily's throwing out the next question.
I like the corners, like definitely the corners.
Okay, corners. Does it matter what kind?
No, not really.
Doesn't
Chocolate
matter.
chips, peanut butter chips, whatever.
Brownie, but a corner would be your
Yes.
first call. All right, good. Now, jump into this next one. This falls directly into it, and maybe brownies are the answer. But what is your all-time favorite dessert?
100% ice cream all the way. I don't even care. Ice cream.
Ice cream over brownies. No, cakes are not your thing.
No.
Ice cream.
I'll eat them, but ice cream is my number one.
All right. Okay, when you have the choice, and I guess this would be on vacation or other things, ocean or mountains, which would you prefer?
I'm gonna have to choose the ocean. I love the mountains because there's a lot of things you can do on the mountains, but I do love the ocean.
Okay. What is your favorite? Now this comes down to an item. This is not like a section, like a specific wardrobe item, but we want to know the actual item. What is your favorite article of clothing?
Okay, this is gonna sound really weird, but fuzzy socks, like cabin socks, they're my favorite article of clothing.
That's your favorite. If you could have those on, you're happy.
Yes, I'm happy.
All right, that's good. That's important. All right, here's another one. Dine in or delivery? Which would you rather?
Dine in.
Dine in, yeah. Delivery, I think we're getting over
Yes.
the joy of delivery. So,
Absolutely.
hear you. All right, another one here. Who do you look up to the most, and what traits do you admire in that person? What characteristics in that person?
I'd say I look up to both my parents, and they share like similar qualities of or traits of just being strong-willed and, leaders on their own. So.
Okay, good. Well, awesome. Well, Jen, thank you so much. That's the only questions we had for you. Wait, I'm looking to see here if anybody is subjecting other questions to you. Amy O'Brien? Oh, let's see what Amy's saying here. Farmers only or Christian mingle?
Christian mingle.
All right. So we're not going with just farmers. Good. Thanks, Aim. Thanks for that question. That was a good one. So, Jen, thanks so much, and we sure appreciate you being a Young Life leader. Jen's been a leader now for, I think, over 2 years. What is Kyle asking? Regular ham or ham cubes from Haas's?
From what?
From Haas's. He would narrow it down. Only Kyle would narrow it down that much.
Probably the ham cubes, and you put it like on your salad.
Yeah. You don't put them on bread and make a sandwich, unless you're Kyle Murray. So, all right, good. Well, Jen, thanks so much for all that you do to serve us, and let me move us on to the next exciting thing. All right, right, you guys, I didn't have a chance to introduce this when I was last on screen, but this is something I thought could be pretty fun for us to do. Um, you're going to have to respond as quickly as you can by texting, live chatting your answer to these. But I have taken some of the top music of today and mixed up the titles, the words in the title, and the game is for you as quickly as you can to give me what you think the actual title is. And so you're going to put that in the chat. So let me go ahead and move us to that next lovely scene. So here I am, out in the woods with you guys. All right, there's the first title. What is the name of the song? Live chat it in, if you know it. Trust me, they get harder. Allison Hollingsworth, Mood, correct. Good job. Jen came in too. All right, here we go. Next word, ready? All right, that's the answer. That's the correct answer. Here we go. Next one. Emily Hollingsworth, it was not Doom. That's a video game. What is this one? What is the title of this song? It's ranked number 3 in the top 10, just so you know, or top 40. I'm counting down from 5. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nobody got... Amy O'Brien, Kings and Queens. Very good. All right, here we go. Next one. Oh, now Allison comes in with Kings and Queen. I think you're a little delayed. That might be my fault how I set it up. All right. Anybody got this one? Go crazy. Way to be, Jen. Way to be. Let's go to the next one. This one's tough. Good guess, Allison. That was the last one. Give me the guess on this one. Anybody? I think there's an auto delay in YouTube, so if you're frustrated because your answer's coming in second, they are coming in order, just differently. All right, this one, nobody's getting it. Here we go. Ready? Diamonds. Yes, Diamonds. I did not recognize the title of the song, but it is high in the rankings of top 40 songs. Here's the next one. Oh, now you got it, Abe. Good job. Oh, and Allison got it too. That's good. How about this one? This one is tough. Second word's not so hard. First word, a little tougher. A little bit more of a challenge. Blinding Lights, our very own Jen Worley. Again, I think Jen is probably in the lead in this right now. Blinding Lights. All right, this is the last one, I believe, for today. It's really delayed. Thanks, Abe. I figured that out. So here's this last one. Here we go. Kyle Murray, who are you booing? Probably the poor design and setup of this game. I will fix it for our next time. What do you think this answer is? I think it's something with eggnog. It's a tough one. Think of the songs that are hip and happening. Take You Dancing, Allison Hollingsworth. Very good. Allison, I think I'm going to put you and Jen as having tied on these. And awesome job. Awesome job. Hey, we are done with that crazy game. Let's continue to move on. All right, now I have the opportunity. We did not get a lot of responses on the video, so it's going to be short-lived, but I want you to see what the people that sent in things and what they said they are currently binge watching or have binge watched or would like to binge watch. So let's go ahead and watch this video here for just a few moments. Mine would have to be NCIS. It's an older show. There are 15 seasons. I am currently in number 8, and I can hit about 4 or 5 at a time. That's mine.
So it wasn't a TV show, but the last thing that we binge watched was the Marvel series.
Lately, I've been binge watching Cobra Kai on Netflix. If you watch the Karate Kid movies, you'll probably love this one. Really good character development, lots of plot twists. A little cheesy sometimes, but I love it, so yeah.
A show that I recently binged was called Bridgerton. I watched it in one whole day, all 8 episodes. Each episode is an hour during Zoom classes.
I have been binge watching Elliot play Call of Duty.
You're seriously gonna make me die.
It was only worth that much of a clap. So we need to get better at putting in videos in the future, and we will do that. But you guys, thanks so much for submitting those. And I know there were other folks who wanted to get theirs in, and just life gets busy. Sports is just taking over, you know. When I was a kid, it just wasn't that crazy. Like, it just goes from season to season, and with the whole COVID-19 thing, things just get harder and harder and weirder when it comes to all this. And in fact, I was thinking about this today as I was preparing for our time, and thinking about like my relationship with my brother. When we were kids, we just did stuff around the house. Like we came up with fun things to do. It wasn't always going off to some sports practice until we got older. It was kind of just hanging out. And one of the things one of the homes that my parents had moved into before my final place where I finished junior high and high school, but prior to that, they had us in a town, and our house was like 2 doors away from the railroad tracks. Actually, there was a house between our house and the railroad tracks. So it was loud at night. But the other thing that happened is, for some reason, and I don't understand this, but there was a lot of soot that came off of the train tracks, and so the ground was really, really dirty, and it was up on a hill, so it went kind of like this, and on this one side it came down into a creek bed, and then that was the direction of our house. And so my brother and I were over there one time, and we climbed up on this hill with this black dirt, and we started jumping on it and like knocking like huge chunks of this dirt into the water, and the water was becoming like milkshake thick, and we were like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. Okay, we were younger and there wasn't that much to do, but we thought that was so cool. So like we're getting more and more dirt, and at one point I said to my brother, watch this, and I jumped really high, came down, hit, and I must have caught the ground under the dirt, and I went flying down the hill, and I landed head first in this milkshake consistency of the deepest, darkest, blackest mud you could imagine. And I went in all the way up to about chest high. And so when I popped out, my brother was laughing and thought it was the greatest thing in the world. And I was like screaming to come help me. And he didn't want to touch me because I was so covered in this stuff. And I couldn't wipe my eyes. So I was blinded, and I was sitting there on the side of this thing. And so he says, hang on a minute, I'll go home and get a rope for you. So he runs back to the house, which is just, a house over, and can't find a rope, but he finds the garden hose. So he throws me the garden hose, and I grab it, and I start trying to pull myself up this hill, and I can't because I'm just sliding on the hose. So my brother says to me, just tie it around your waist, and I'll lead you home. And so that's what we did, and I can just imagine my mother looking out the front window and being like, oh, what's Terry bringing home now? And there I am covered in this stuff, just gross. Nobody wanted to touch me. And we got to the house, and I said to my brother, help clean me up. And he was like, give me the hose back. And I knew exactly what that meant. And he connected it to the house, and he hosed down my face and my body. And that was not one of our greater moments together. But I'll tell you, I was so gross, he didn't want to come near me. And it made me think of a passage I wanted to share with you really tonight about a situation with Jesus. Jesus was out hanging with some folks. And so let me read this to you if you've got just a moment with us. Jesus was walking with a bunch of his friends, and there was a man with leprosy. Now, you may not know much about leprosy, but back in that day, in Jesus' day, leprosy was a skin condition where you lost feeling in your nerve endings. And so what ended up happening is these people would accidentally lose fingers and toes, and it was smelly, and it was very, very contagious. And so people just ran away from these guys. In fact, they were by law not allowed to comb their hair or to shower or do anything. So they just were really hurting people. And when they came into town, normally they lived in their colonies outside of town, but when they came into town, they would have to ring a bell, ready for this, and yell, unclean, unclean, so that people could separate and get on the different sides of the street to get away from them. Can you imagine leprosy in today's high school? I mean, you're walking into the school and you have to yell unclean so people can get to the walls and get away from you because you're so disgusting and you're so contagious. Terrible thought. So here Jesus, he's walking with his friends, and it tells us here that a man with leprosy came to him and begged him on his knees. He got so close to Jesus that he begged him on his knees. And he said this to Jesus, if you are willing, you can make me clean. And it says, the next verse is just awesome. It says, Jesus was filled with compassion. And he reached out his hand. So this guy came that close to Jesus. Jesus reached out with his hand and he touched the leper. And he said this, I am willing, be clean. And the Bible tells us that immediately the leprosy left him and he was cured. And then Jesus sent him on his way. You guys, I read that passage to you because in our society today, not just during the COVID stuff where people are concerned about contagious, but in life, we have people who just don't fit in. They aren't the people that we hang with. They are maybe in a class or two below us in the sense of the social classes. They also might be freshmen or sophomores and you're a senior. And so we look at them and just say, oh, you're just a sophomore, you're just a freshman. Get away. But here's the cool thing. Jesus could have stood back. He could have actually moved away from this guy and said, okay, be clean. But he didn't do that. He reached out and he touched this man. Now, I want you to think about that for a second. This guy hadn't been touched by anybody in a long time. And think of how Jesus healed him emotionally by just touching him, saying, I'll do it. I'm willing. And he touched him, and he healed him physically. And you guys, I would challenge you to say, he healed him spiritually. He healed his heart so that his heart could be right with God. Guys, in Young Life, we talk about this guy, Jesus, not just as a religious figure or somebody that we date time after, but somebody that loves us so much and is so willing to get involved in our grossness, in our brokenness, in our hurt, and in our pain. When I was covered in mud, my brother wouldn't touch me. But guys, I think Jesus would have. And that's an amazing thought, that the God of the universe came down in human form and said, you got a problem? You're dirty? You feel gross? I am willing and I am able. See, Jesus wasn't just willing to touch him. He was able to cleanse him. And immediately the leprosy left the man. Guys, here's my thought for you tonight. Consider where you are. And that Jesus, the Son of God, would walk into your world and say, I am willing to make you well. I am willing. You have to be bold enough to want it. To believe that there's something special enough about Jesus that you want to know him so that things can change. And I promise you, he has that power. Hey, I'm going to close our time in prayer. If you want to talk about this at all, please don't hesitate to text me or to Facebook me or DM me, however you have to do it to get a note to me. Give me your number and I would happily call you, as would any of the Young Life leaders, including Jen and Amy and Allison and Emily and the others. So thanks for this time, guys. Let me say a quick prayer for us. God, thank you for the chance to hang out with friends and to be here with them. God, we ask that you would bless every person who heard these words tonight, that they would realize that no matter how broken they are, how gross they might feel, that the perfect God of the universe walks into their world and says, I'm not only willing, but I want to make you well. I am willing and able to take you from where you are to where God planned on us to be. Thanks for this time, guys. Thanks for being a part of things. Hope you can join us maybe this coming Sunday. And it's in your name we pray. Jesus, amen. Guys, again, this coming Sunday, we'll do this at 7 o'clock. We do what we call Real Life at 7 o'clock. Just keep an eye on Facebook or subscribe here, and you'll probably get a note there as well. And I'll send out some other notes. Thanks so much. Take care, and have a great night. Bye-bye.